There we go.
And welcome in, everybody. This is the Connect Show live every Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. across all of your socials or watching it whenever you are. My name's Mitch Nellis, aka Thunder. So excited. We have a great show planned today. We're going to be learning a lot about starting your own business, about the accountability that goes along with that, about the opportunities that you can create for others when you are a small business owner and when you work in the service of others. So excited. As Eminem once said, guess who's back? Back again. Tracy's back. Tell a friend. Yep. I didn't go welcome back Cotter. I could have, but I went Eminem. She's back. She's Tracy Champagne. What up, Trace?
Hello. I'm back. I'm super excited to be back. Although it was nice to have the week off. I was watching you guys all online. It looked really, really good. Nice. It felt like I was really here.
Did you like how we pronounced your name? Chapagna?
Yes.
We were all over the place.
Cahampagni.
Yeah.
Cahampagni. We were like having a good time.
That has been done before.
Yeah.
Do you have some? Oh, you have a gold earring. I was like, do you have gold strips in your hair? That would be cool.
I want to.
That would
Why
be
not?
I want to.
It's almost
Maybe
summer.
I should do that today.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Hot girl summer, right?
Yeah. Welcome to the. Well,
right.
It's summer sometimes.
I'm bringing summer on with the outfit today.
You are.
Just saying.
It's a gun show.
Welcome to the Connect Show. My name is Tracy Champagne, and today is episode number 33 of season number 3. And I am so glad to be back. I love the energy here as always. And I do want to thank Charlene Osterling from Stupid Good Food for filling in last week. She has a lot of energy too.
She does.
She does. And all the great little tidbits that she just rolls right off her tongue. Like
She's like the nuggets
kill me.
queen.
Yeah.
She's the queen of like the
Word.
yeah, exactly.
I said if you don't start using that hashtag word wars, like you're in big trouble from me going forward.
So my business is Small Business Milwaukee, and we do digital marketing. So that means website design, social media, blog writing, newsletter writing, all the digital marketing things. And today we are talking all about advising for success, and we all love some success. And today
we've got two really great successful people here today
that we're
going to talk about.
Yeah.
So super excited to hear from them.
And thanks to Kim for holding down the fort last week. And welcome. It's nice to see you again.
Yeah,
she looks so summerish.
I am gonna make summer happen in Wisconsin. Like it's gonna be beautiful all day while we're working, and then it's gonna this afternoon when work hours are over. So I'm gonna just make sure
I was prepared for the decline.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure that we hope that it stays. So anyways, hello everyone. I am Kim Tracy. Thank you for coming back to join us this week. We missed you. Charlene was great. We gained some great nuggets from her, of course, like we talked about, hashtag word wars. She's gonna start using it, just watch. But you were definitely missed. Like Tracy said, I'm Kim Knock. My business is Opportunities Knocking. I do social media management, some event planning, and a lot of craziness. Today, though, we are happy to have guest Kristin Gupta and Bud Matthews. We're really looking forward to the conversations. I'm excited to finally meet Kristin in person. I networked with her during the shutdown many times, but I've never got to see her in person. So I'm excited.
That's funny. I actually hadn't seen her since we were at the Idea Collective retreat together. And she said, wait a minute, you're the guy who did the auction, right? And so I was talking to her and Bud about how like we did this auction and we were hoping to raise $1,000 for Islands of Brilliance. We ended up raising $12,000 in that room.
Wow.
And it was like
amazing.
Like we had a bucket of 5 like bottles of good booze, and we were auctioning it off. So the first person bought it for $1,200. Then they donated it back to they were like, I don't even drink, I'm donating it back. So we auctioned it off again. And then other people started auctioning off their goods and services. It was like, sometimes it's the auctioneer, but in this case, sometimes it's the room.
It was the room.
And it was the room
Nice.
of people who wanted to give. And so what I will remind everybody out there, because we all have our favorite nonprofit that we work with, our cause that we work with. When you're in that room, remember why we're in that room. And that, yes, auctioneers, some are friendly like me. I like to call myself Milwaukee's friendly auctioneer. Others are more annoying and shush everybody all the time. I don't shush. But remember at the end of the day, the cause that we're in the room for.
Yes, right.
And so let's open up those pocketbooks when we have the opportunity to touch other people's lives.
We need to bring you on for a Connect Show auction. I think we should do something.
I'm here for that.
I got to hear you auction.
Yeah. I would love to. I'm not a cattle auctioneer, so I don't do the blah. But I got 191. I need to. I got 293. And
I mean, you could
but
do
then
it
I also
twice,
I know who's in the room, so you got to know your audience and you
Yeah.
play on the heartstrings a little bit. Yeah.
And we would love to start our show off by thanking all of our fantastic partners. The Connect Show is every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central on all your social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube Live.
Mm-hmm.
And the Connect Show is brought to you by Canva, which is such an amazing platform. And I'm being distracted by all the bells and whistles.
I have Canva on I have the app right there, Canva.
Canva is amazing. I think I go into Canva almost every day now.
I definitely go in there every day.
I'm not good at it, and it doesn't matter.
You don't have
you can't help but be good at it
There's
because it's so
templates that
user
for
friendly.
those that aren't good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like it's almost like Photoshop when Photoshop first came out and everybody's using Photoshop. Now everybody can use, and Canva's just a little bit more easy learning curve than Photoshop had.
Truth.
Yes.
Absolutely. We also have to thank our hosting sponsor, Expansive Workspace, where we broadcast this show every
Studio
single
A5,
week.
what?
Studio A5. It's a wonderful place to work, great community to be a part of. Look at our scenery in the background. In Wisconsin, we have TOSA, downtown Milwaukee. We're in TOSA here. There's also one in Madison and 42 locations throughout the country.
Tell us another location that you have visited.
I have been to Indianapolis, Indiana, Cincinnati, Ohio, Minneapolis, Minnesota. So
Nice.
they're all different.
I love how you say the states with those cities, like we don't know where they are. Indianapolis,
some people
as
might.
opposed to Indianapolis, Arizona.
Did you know that there's like a Nashville, Oklahoma or something? Like who would think
Right.
that? No.
There's a
when you
Milwaukee,
say-
Ohio.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Mhm.
Milwaukee,
Yeah.
Oregon.
Yep.
You know,
Spelled
so-
differently, but still Milwaukee,
Totally.
Oregon. Yeah.
So it's there. So you have to. But if you're
You're right.
interested in being part of the Expansive community, visit expansive.com.
Nice.
And we're very thankful that you have come to watch the Connect Show. We think connecting is a huge key to building small business. That's why it's called the Connect Show.
So
Please tell your friends
Connecting.
all about our show. And if you have a topic you think we should be discussing, please email us at ideas@theconnectshow.com.
our thanks again to last week's guests, Esther Radis and Rachel Kitson. We talked about money, staying on top of it, asking the hard questions about it. Rachel, I'm super excited to check out her studio that they're working on.
Yep.
I can't, Rumble Boxing,
Yes.
I think
Yes.
it's called. It sounds like so much fun. It's for every fitness
I
level.
signed up for their list, so I've gotten a couple of their texts and stuff, and it's like they kept, do you want the early bird special? Do you want this? And I'm like, I just want to. So it's in Brookfield, and I live in Whitefish Bay, so it's not like it's right around the corner.
Right.
But I definitely want to check it out because I do want to get back into better shape, and I think it's going to be a
I
great
think it's going
workout.
to be like a fun girls adventure.
Yes,
there.
and they're going to
Love a
open
fun
3
girls' adventure.
locations in Wisconsin. So Brookfield is just going to be their first. They're, I
Mhm.
believe, contracted to do 3. So
Nice, very cool.
super, super excited.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But let's hear about today's guest from Mitch.
Awesome. Thanks so much. So Kristin Gupta is here. She's a mother of 3. She's a wife, and she's a ballroom dance enthusiast. I don't know if we quite have the room here to check that out. And she'd make my feet are so slow and tangled that she would just dance circles around me. That's for sure.
I bet she could help you if she knows what's up.
Yes, for sure. She's on her way to being a black belt in Taekwondo. She's a travel fanatic, 25 countries. We might make her name some of those. We'll put her on the test. And one of the nuggets that I found out about Kristin is that she started her professional career as a teller at Wells Fargo. And I think that's interesting that when we find out people's first jobs and then where they are today and hearing that path, to me, I always find interest in, I'm a storyteller, so I want to hear people's stories, but I think it's neat that was, I found that on her LinkedIn and that she has that on her LinkedIn. And I know a lot of us are nervous to put, our first job or our first couple jobs because they're not things we necessarily want to broadcast to everybody. But I think that shows a real strength of character that's on her LinkedIn profile. And that's part of her identity and who she is today. And she also has a background along with her husband in photography, I believe. There's a lot of photography. So very well-rounded, excited. We're going to talk to her about on the professional level. But as you guys know, I like to get those nuggets of the personal life in as well.
You dig deep.
I do.
I've had conversations with people
I gotta
about
say,
where you find things and how does you find it.
I digged. I dug
dug.
I dug the least this week because Kristin and Bud did such a great job in their bios of not just having their professional bio, but having personal things in there. And that's something I want to give them both shout outs about because when we're looking to do business, especially a small business owner, especially somebody who's doing a startup or somebody who represents a corporation, but they're doing their own thing within that corporation, it's so easy to go onto that website and say, I've worked here and I've worked here and this is how smart I am. But to have that personal touch, and they both have personal touch in their bios, I love that about both of them. So,
being real.
So key to everyone out there. Great job doing that.
Amazing.
Bud Matthews is also here. He's a distinguished Toastmaster. I don't know if a Toastmaster makes you a roast master, but I kind of I want to see if he can do the roasts as well. But he's a distinguished Toastmaster. He's a 3-time 140.6 mile Ironman finisher.
That's insane.
But that's crazy.
That's insane.
But that's crazy.
Not even just once.
Right.
Three times.
You're like, you did it once. You're like, hey, that was so much fun. Let's do it again.
Wow.
All right. So we'll have to hear that a little bit. He's a hospitality minister at St. John Vianney Church in Brookfield. He loves spending his time at his family cabin in Wisconsin's Northwoods with his 3 grandkids, Nora, James, and Abby, and they live right down the street from me. So I have a 10-year-old Nora. His oldest is an 8-year-old. His granddaughter is Nora. So we might have to have a Nora party in Whitefish Bay. We'll see about that. And he knows his way around a smoked meat as well.
Which means he could be a grill master.
He could be a grill master. That's right. Having worked with Hormel, Smithfield, and Patrick Cudahy. Again, a well-rounded background leads both of our guests to where they are today. Back to you guys.
So exciting.
Yeah.
So remember, everybody, this show is better when it's interactive. So if you're out there on Facebook and YouTube, please leave your comments in the chat. We will see them and we can address them. And if you have any questions for our guests, please bring those up on the chat too.
We also like to hear where people are coming from.
Yeah.
So say we're at roll call. John will throw it up on the screen. We may or may not be able to call it out, but hey, let's go.
I feel like I throw in Whitefish Bay once.
That's
a
all right.
Oh,
Do I need to start throwing in St. Francis? St.
Maybe.
Francis in the house, and you've got 2 cities you can call out. I mean,
and you've been throwing
Northwoods
Greenfield in
and
more
out here.
recently.
Yeah.
Because you're representing Greenfield. I mean, you are
I am representing Greenfield.
You are.
And I do live in Greenfield.
Yeah. You don't just represent it.
No.
We are all volunteers here at The Connect Show. If you'd like the show, would like to get involved, email us at ideas@theconnectshow.com. Thank you to everyone involved. I got a beautiful Mary Kay face today for the first time.
So
She's
nice.
I was
always
wondering
so
why you were
focused.
glowing so.
I know. She's like, I have the perfect colors for your outfit today. So she's like, I'm going to help you bring summer in. So I love it. But thank you to everyone that helps us, even those that are contributing via the chat. We appreciate you all. Thank you.
Speaking of that, Kim, I feel like we have a good color palette going today.
We
with the
really
3 of
do.
us. Yeah.
We really do. And then we go taller, maybe not so
Maybe
tall.
not as tall. Yeah.
Okay, so on to our quote for today. So not like it's a pun or anything. It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up, by Vince Lombardi.
Love Vince Lombardi. Wisconsin.
Exactly.
Not love
Yeah.
Vince Lombardi.
Yeah. And we all have experience with that, right? We've all been knocked down and we've all gotten back up. I'm getting a look. Oh, you don't love Vince Lombardi?
I was thinking you get knocked down, I get up again.
I get knocked down.
There you go.
But I get up again.
All right. Yeah, this is live and I just sang on live. Yeah. Mitch doesn't care.
No,
but
never.
I tend to knock myself down on accident a lot. I might be the clumsiest person you've ever met.
So in real, you actually knock yourself down,
Yeah, I
not
do, all the
mentally,
time.
not because we also mentally and we get in our own way sometimes and mentally knock ourselves down when we have
That's
to remember to
true,
be
too.
kind
And
to
that's
ourselves.
a little bit more insidious because you don't know that you're actually doing it till after you did it.
I have kind of a funny story about getting knocked down just this past weekend.
no.
Yeah.
What'd you
was
do?
down too.
I
Did you
was
walk into a
meeting
table
with,
again?
No, it was a little crazy, but I was meeting with Charlene, who was our guest co-host yesterday or last week, and we met at a coffee shop, which is inside of a garden center, Blue Mel's in Greenfield, and we were walking out, we're talking, and they have huge rocks, maybe so you can't push your cart through somewhere. I have no idea, but my feet didn't know those rocks were there, and I went right over, laptop, everything. Everyone, you hear the giant gasp. Yeah, I did that right in front of everyone. So
Are you okay?
I'm
You
okay.
lived to-
I'm
you
here.
lived to talk about
I'm
it.
here. My knees are a little bruised up, but hey,
I had the
scrapes.
same story. I sprained my ankle last week. So
See?
I was just walking the dog, though. I didn't even contend with any rocks. I just Fell.
I'm just kind of a klutz, you guys. So
How did you fall short last week?
I actually, for the first week in a long time, I did not play in my basketball games, so I did not awkwardly fall to the floor, due to old
There's
age.
hope for us yet.
I just sometimes just go down.
Avoidance is our hope, I think. Yeah.
Well, what a way this quote went. I just go down.
Yeah,
Everyone's like, "Oh, where's
exactly.
Kim?" Oh, there she is. Let's get her up. Let's go.
Nice.
So our question for today, why do you get so much joy from helping others and what is in it for us? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody has a different reason for that, but it's probably all pretty similar answers.
Go ahead. Start her off. What's yours? I feel like I always have to start, so I'm going with you today.
Why do I get so much joy from helping others? Well, I like it when you know how something's going to go and they can't see it, but you're able to enlighten them so then they can see it and then they experience it for themselves because you may have already experienced it, so you know how awesome it was. And then when you help them experience, that's a pretty dang good feeling.
It's a really good feeling.
It is a really good feeling. I like good karma.
Mm-hmm.
I help a lot of people in a lot of ways. I volunteer for a lot of things. I've had to kind of bring it back a little bit and realize, okay, you can't just give your whole everything to everybody.
Yeah.
So there's some pain points in there too. But to me, just watching someone see the light of something totally different because you help them. They may, kind of like what you said, they might not see the end result and you're helping bring them the end result. I love helping other people. I find more joy in that than making money off of people. But you still got to pay bills. But I find way more joy in helping people than charging people for work.
And isn't it amazing that we talk about this, and we've talked about this before, how much more joy we get from helping others than sometimes doing things for ourselves.
Absolutely.
And I think what we need to do while we're doing that is allow others to help us as well. Because remember, if we're getting joy out of helping others, and others, we hope, will get joy out of helping us, and then there's a symbiotic relationship there. There is that good karma. There is that opportunity that we're all helping each other get where we want to be, whether it's in personal life or professional life or financially or athletically or whatever it might be. That I think it's really important to keep in mind.
I'm also one of the last people to want to ask anyone for help. So I love that you brought that up because I
just as a reminder to say, take a step back and don't always
But you
take
love
the
helping
lead.
others.
I do,
So
but
it's okay to ask for help.
Hate feeling like I could potentially be a burden for someone. And when I offer help to someone, I don't do it in a way that it's like, I'm going to do this for you. Yeah. I really like to help others figure out how to do it on their own so they can do it themselves later. Not that it's, Kim's got to do this for me every single time now because she helped me once.
Kind of like we talked about, one of our guests said it last week about the fishing analogy. And, I've heard that one my entire life.
Yeah, that was Esther. Yeah, absolutely.
About, teaching someone to fish and they can eat their whole lives.
Yes.
Cook them a fish, they can have one meal.
It makes a tremendous difference.
Yeah.
A tremendous difference.
But it's also okay to ask for help. That's a part of the joy of helping others.
Getting to be on the receiving end.
Right. And letting others have that same joy, knowing they're helping you.
I need to get that beat into my head a little bit. Yeah. A little bit. So we have John running everything behind the scenes. How are we doing on comments? Anything good going on back there?
Just a lot of happy people watching the show. Thanks for chiming in, Kim.
I love it. Well, thank you to the happy people. Make sure that you're telling us where you're happy from.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, that roll. We love that roll call. So even your first name and where you're from, even if you don't have a question or an actual comment, go ahead and do that too. We love that.
Amazing. Yep. And we are ready for a moment from John behind the scenes for our first guest.
Yeah. I think he has a video.
Studio A5 is located in Wauwatosa at the Expansive Workspace. I'd love to show you around. It's a beautiful new space where we have an Ellen set, we have the news desk set, and we have all the amenities you need to create content quickly, have fun, and enjoy your time here. If you have an event coming up, an expo, a show, a course, or any type of content that you create, let's get together and talk about what Studio A5, the Content Creation Lab, can help you create your content quicker. Click the link below, and I look forward to having coffee with you at Studio A5.
I'm taking John up on the coffee. and the cafe next door.
Yeah.
Right. He looking forward to having coffee with everyone. So there you go.
And donuts.
Welcome.
I like
Kristin.
the music too.
Yes.
Welcome, Kristin.
Thank you.
Welcome. So Kristin has been an executive recruiter for more than a decade and believes the best way to find a great opportunity is through networking. Boy,
Man.
we agree with that. So now she is a networking enthusiast. Oh, I love the title. A coach, a speaker, and a business culture fanatic. She's an executive recruiter specializing in HR leadership and the person that keeps the ship moving and ensures business can be done.
In 2020, Kristin created Defining Leaders, a community with the purpose to connect leaders and to allow them to get to know one another in a more personal basis. The group is about learning from each other and is a place where people can collaborate.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of
And
my
it's a
favorite
great
words.
it's a great event. I've been there a few times.
Yes, me
Thank
too.
you.
Me
Thank
too.
you.
So back to the question of the day. So why do you get so much joy from helping others?
I love what you guys were just talking about in the getting help from others as well component. If you help others, it comes back around, like you said, with karma, but also it just feels good, right? That serotonin and that dopamine. We don't actually get serotonin by doing something that we're proud of.
Right.
We get serotonin by doing something or by seeing somebody else be proud of doing something, right? So helping somebody to do something, it just feels good.
It's a good chemical reaction in your
Yeah.
body. And I like that. I like that. I'm stoked to finally meet you in person. We've only met on Zoom in the past, so
Yeah.
I'm super excited. So why do you do what you do? Tell everybody, or what Mitch would say, what is your why behind your why?
Your
Beyond the
why
concept
behind your why.
of helping others.
You know, what's funny, I say that the best way to find your next opportunity is through networking. What a lot of people don't know is behind that story is one time when I was in between jobs, I knew that I needed to do it differently this time. I went 8 months in between jobs when I was in my early 20s and had to move back in with the parents.
Oh,
Had to go through that. If you've never gone through it, it's a real interesting time.
Easier
no
though-
thanks.
Thank you, mom and dad, for the
when-
help, but
Right.
it's challenging.
Easier though when you're in your 20s versus
Than in your 30s or 40s.
Yes.
Right.
But it's your parents learning how to have an adult child living with them, right?
Mhm.
And it's you learning how to, I'm not their kid, I still have to help, but this is not the same as when I was a child, right?
Yeah.
Like this is a whole different ballgame. So I went 8 months in between, and now rose-colored glasses, or looking back, hindsight being 2020, I'm so grateful for that time. Because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't run Defining Leaders. So my why behind my why is I knew what it was like
Mm-hmm.
to be in the position that you can't land, that you can't find something, that you start all of that self-doubt, all of that harmful, negative self-talk.
I'm not good
all of
enough. What
that,
am I
right?
good at?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want people to go through that alone anymore. I want them to have a community where they have people to do this with. I'm grateful that we started in March of 2020 because y'all know what happened at the end of March.
Yeah.
We had an in-person event and then immediately had to go virtual, and the world has changed to be so virtual accessible.
Yeah.
We helped over 750 people land in new jobs. We didn't necessarily place them, but we helped to teach them to
Right.
fish
Yes.
so that they could land well. And I feel so
that's
proud of that.
so amazing. And way to figure out how to navigate that and
Yeah.
turn that into a virtual option right away, because some people are like, would be like, oh, I'm done.
Oh,
And Tracy
never-
did really similar.
Yeah.
And she's like, how am I going to do this networking? I do a ton of networking. What am I going to do? And she ended up with some of the most successful online networking groups that I've been a part of. So, and you as well with Defining Leaders. I think that's amazing.
I'd never used Zoom before our very first call.
No.
Nope. Come on, and 25 people show up, and I'm like, guys, we're gonna have to figure out how to do this together.
That's the best though, because then they feel
It really
vested a
is.
little bit too. I bet they came
Yeah.
the next week.
I wish I had you, John, during a lot of that because there was
Yeah.
a lot of stuff to figure out.
Yeah.
Like, think of setting up your home office, even the lighting. Like, how do you set up your lighting to look good?
Yeah.
Right?
John was
So-
teaching people that
Yeah.
when Zoom first kind of was coming around. He's like, "Oh, you put your light here, you do this." Yeah,
You
it's
want
great.
to have some backlighting, but not so much that people can't see you. Like,
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
So during your journey, what else have you learned all about helping people with their transitions and stuff like that?
I have learned, I think the biggest thing is you need to dig your well before you're thirsty. What I mean by that is what we found really interesting in defining leaders is our numbers in 2021 started really dropping off.
Mhm.
So we looked at why. I had a board of directors by that time that were helping me. And we went from regularly having about 100 people per week attending to 12.
Uh-huh.
And we looked at why this might be happening. Why do we have so few people attending at this point? And we realized that once you land, you stop doing that networking because the reason you were networking is because you wanted to find a job.
Exactly.
So we changed the way we do business and we decided, you know what, we're not a job seekers networking group. And you need to constantly network no matter what, whether you have a job or not, because it makes your job easier too. And so we really developed a structure, a program of let's work on people development, personal, professional development. Let's be open to small business. Tracy, I love what you do with that, to entry-level people that want to grow and learn and move up, but really be focused on building out people's EQ and helping people to develop. And since then, we've averaged out at about 25 a week, which is outstanding. When the job seeker networking groups, they're amazing, by the way, and feel free to contact me if you're looking and need some networking there. They were at like 8 or 9 per meeting for quite a while. So I think it really made a difference.
So I'm going to throw kind of an off the wall question out there. So you have defining leaders and you're still in recruiting, correct? In your recruiting, do you encourage job seekers after they find their job or in your recruiting process to network?
Absolutely.
Because that is something I never came across
Yes.
until I started a direct sales business. And I was like, I need to expand my horizons. I need to expand my network, and taught myself about networking. It's not a talked about thing, I don't think, in like corporate.
It's a yucky
world.
word. It's a yucky word.
Yeah.
And in fact, I try to stay away from the word networking as much as I can because people are afraid of it. Also, I think people think networking is trying to go out and meet new people and develop new relationships.
Right.
But what's interesting, networking is really reconnecting with people that you've always known.
Yes.
And staying in touch with people and talking about things that provide value to all of you.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, I actually hate small talk.
I'm terrible at it. Terrible.
What was the last graduation party you went to in your neighborhood? And you know the conversations that you have, even if you're the host, it's like the same conversation over.
How is the
over and over.
weather?
The weather is always the thing.
What are you
I
going to be
can't
going on?
stand it.
Have you done any good vacations?
Yeah.
It's just very.
What sports
So
are the
you've
kids
got to
in?
have some central point that you can talk about, that you can get excited about, that you can get behind.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed is a differentiator. And that's why we focus on the personal and professional development, is because it's not small talk. And now you're actually getting to know someone as a person, as a human being, instead of talking about the weather.
Yeah, and you're talking about like their family adventures. Like, did they just have a grandkid, or does one of their kids get married, or any of like life things you end up talking about when you start building the relationship with people that you are networking with. It just, like, everybody in this room I've done networking with, and I know much more about them than just what they do for their business. Right.
To top that off, one thing I can say is I probably know more about some of the people that I network with than some of my family and
That
friends.
is true. That is true.
I definitely do. It becomes such a nice, free conversation because you see people at different events. I run a women's networking group, and it is not just for small business owners, it's for professionals as well. So meshing those together can be really interesting because people will want to stand up and introduce themselves and say, well, I don't have a small business, and we want to celebrate that. That's okay. You're still here to meet more people. It's okay.
Right.
You don't have to have a small or growing business. It's just fine. So, yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else? I'd love for you to share with everybody kind of what defining leaders is, because we didn't go too deep into that, but I think that's a really good tool for our audience to learn about.
What I love the most about this group and this community, I'll go into that first, and then I'll tell you what we've become as well. So we plan each and every session together. So it used to be that the board of directors comes together and says, this is going to be the leadership topic that we talk about, and we're going to roll it out to our community, and we're going to tell them, hey, you should come to this. We've recently changed to, we get together as a community and we say, what do we need to talk about next?
Mhm.
What are the next 3 events that we should cover this particular topic? And the language has changed in how that community approaches that. And they say we, they don't say you. And that's been significant. So it's a community of peers. It's a community of people that come together and help each other learn and learn from each other by asking the right questions. I actually don't like getting up and preaching at people, this is what you should do. I rather like coming and saying, here's a really interesting question. Can we discuss your experience in this? And then I think the key to this too, have you ever gone to a networking room? Now, both of you, are you extroverts? Are you introverts? Do you know?
I found
Are
out
you
I'm an
ambiverts?
ambivert.
Are you an ambivert?
Yes.
I figured you were an ambivert.
Yeah.
About the
Yeah.
same for you,
Yeah.
Tracy.
Yeah.
So I'm an extrovert, but when I go to a networking group or a meeting and I don't know somebody there, I'm terrified.
Yeah.
I don't like going up and meeting people that I don't know. And I feel really uncomfortable finding a table to go sit at. Like that for me, even as an extrovert, is really, really challenging when I don't know anybody in that room. But if I know someone in that room, you know what I do the entire time? I stick to the person.
I do the
like
same
glue,
thing. I do the
right?
same thing.
Yes, and so
Yeah.
how is that helping you with networking, right?
So defining leaders and the glory of something virtual is breakout rooms.
Yes.
So what we do is we open up the topic, and most of the extroverts speak and talk about what they're looking for. But then we split into rooms of 4, and we say, what is your experience in life when it comes to this? And because it's 4, and because you didn't choose that room and you're thrown in with these people, you really get to know the people, and you've got 25 minutes to discuss. So each person has at least 5 minutes in that. I think it's really the differentiator of that group. So you actually get to know everybody instead of a 30-second introduction in the beginning,
Yeah.
which most people are actually terrified to do.
Yeah, they are. And I was speaking with one of our guests last week because she's getting out. She's starting this business. It's brand new to Wisconsin. And she's been attending a lot of networking events. And I said, tell me, so now you've been meeting a lot of people. Tell me, when you go into the room, do you go find all the people you know, or do you go sit at a table on your own? And she said, I'll go find some people I don't know. I said, I need to be you when I grow up, because that's what my goal is. In a lot of the events that I run, the same people want to sit by me. They feel comfortable with me. Same for me. I go sit by the same people, but I do try to change it up.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Are you competitive?
No, I'm collaborative.
So if you're collaborative, this could help too. Are you competitive? I think you are.
I can be a little competitive.
So to that group of people, say, hey guys, here's an issue that I see us facing all the time. I used to work for a company that used to spend probably $10,000 or more per event for us to go to that event and network with people that we don't know. And because we never saw each other, we were spread all across the US. What we do is we'd stick to each other, right?
Yes.
So I told my boss the next time she yelled at me, I said, you know what I think would help me, because I am competitive, is why don't you have Amanda and I, because we were the 2 at that event, compete with each other to see who can get the most business cards of other people that they don't know. These days, not everybody has business cards. I don't. So what you could do is who gets the most new LinkedIn connections at that event.
Yeah.
And then they win like a $25 gift certificate.
How cool.
But the collaborative in you, guys, we need to meet more people.
Yeah.
We need to be introduced to more people. This could be our way to get outside of this core group and meet other people. I got up on stage and I would tell people, hey guys, I'm the one that's in the competition for the most business cards. So please, as soon as I get down, come and give me your business card, or have me come sit at your table and introduce me to everybody.
And
at your
there's the
table.
extrovert in you right there, right?
But that allowed my extrovert to come out, but it also kicked in that competitive nature. And I was no longer afraid to go and talk to other people because I had something to talk about.
Right.
That's really cool. I did that at our very first back to in-person Professional Women of Wisconsin event. I had everyone sit by somebody that they didn't know, listen to what their business was, and they had to present the other person's business.
Oh, yeah.
So that it was, because we were all just getting together for the first time, we didn't have a complete topic, and it worked out so good. And some of those people are still talking today, and that was a year and a half ago. So it's really cool.
I run HR roundtables as well, and we're having our first in-person event. I'm going to put numbers under the chairs so that they have to go to a different table with that number. Because I want to mix it up. I don't want people sitting with people that they've always worked with, that they always know. Because the whole point of coming here is to meet new people.
That
Mhm,
is so
mhm.
amazing.
And making it into a game makes it a little bit easier.
It does.
Mhm,
It does.
mhm.
When you force people to say you have to sit out, nobody likes to be
Yeah,
forced.
yeah.
No. So, do you have an offer or an event that
Mhm.
you would like to promote for your business?
I don't usually like 2 calls to action, but I happen to be working on 2 things right now
Give
that I'm
'em.
really excited about.
Yes.
So if you're in HR and you're looking for a place to connect, we've got our HR roundtables coming up on June 8th. This is an open house event. We're really excited about it. We're hosting it at R&R Insurance. You guys should have Shay come on sometime. She's amazing. She's one of their brokers, but we're hosting the event there, and we're bringing in my coach,
Nice.
and she's just an amazing mindset teacher that talks to you about how to not feel like you're being selfish when you're asking for help. So
Ooh.
I love what you brought
Oh
up there.
boy.
And
Sounds like
HR
someone I need to
often,
meet.
Right? HR often, we pour ourselves out to others, but we never refill our cup.
Mm-hmm.
And the interesting thing is, if we never refill our cup, we can't keep pouring
Yeah,
out.
you get
because there's
drained, you get
nothing
tired.
left.
Yeah.
So that is huge, I think, for HR professionals. We'd love to see you there. And for those of you that aren't, or HR professionals too, Defining Leaders is always there for you. An opportunity to get to know people, develop yourself as a leader. We meet every single Wednesday at noon.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining
Thank
us
you.
today. We do have a page on the website for Kristin. It's theconnectshow.com/Kristin Gupta, Gupta. Thank you so much.
Yes.
We are ready to move on to our next guest. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you.
And a little bit, I'm going to go a little bit more into Pinterest again. Post it on Pinterest. Pinterest gets 1 billion video views per day. And like I said, if you look at Google and you click on images or videos, Pinterest are in the top probably 5 pictures that you'll see. You'll see the little, it's coming from Pinterest.com, whether it was pinned by another user or it was you. And most likely, most businesses aren't using it. It's pinned by another user. So why not have you do that? I have a client that is on my food truck website that my Pinterest pin ranks higher than their food truck website. So it's really, yeah, it comes up on the first page of Google. It's crazy.
Welcome, Bud. Bud is a managing partner with Ascend Performance, where they understand the challenges companies face with finding and retaining top talent to stay competitive. They provide a variety of validated assessment tools available for recruiters and HR professionals to make the process easier, more streamlined, and more efficient.
Bud's background and experience lend themselves to companies in need of talent, sales, and coaching solutions combined with Sales Acceleration's proven success system, which makes Ascend Performance a resource companies can trust to grow their sales and boost their revenue. Welcome to the show, Bud.
Welcome. Thank you for joining
ladies.
us today.
This place is awesome.
So glad you're back in Wisconsin.
Yes, it's good to be back in Wisconsin.
We are going to revert back to the audience question. Why do we get such joy out of helping people? Do you get great joy out of helping people?
I joy, I find a lot of fulfillment. And I get that from you. You heard my bio and the way I work and the things that I do. And I really believe in servant leadership, where you work with people one-on-one and you serve them, you help them achieve their goals. And that's what I do within my company, is help them achieve what they want to get done. So I find joy and fulfillment when they make the sale, when they make the promotion, when they make that next step, when they break those barriers of networking within a group and going out and meeting people and doing the things that challenge them.
Yeah. Is there a reason for the good feel, or you just it just brings you joy?
Like you talked about earlier in the show, when you really help someone else achieve what they want to achieve, it helps you really feel good in doing that. And that's where I'm at in my career. I've run the race, and I've run a lot of races, literally. But I've run the race in the business world, and it's my time to give back. And that's what I enjoy doing, working with small to medium-sized companies.
I couldn't be a better answer. I don't think. Yeah, I think it's great. I'm a little jealous of this whole Ironman thing 3 times. Like, wow. But I don't know how you did 1.
I probably wasn't very smart doing all of that, but it was a good way to stay in shape. I could tell you that.
I bet.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I bet. Your body might have been a little mad at you after, but.
So what is the most important topic in sales leadership today?
Well, there's a number of things. sales is changing so much. And what's happening in the sales world today, 6 months ago was different. 12 months ago was different. So it really changes. So you really have to be on top of what's taking place. And what I like to do is just ask the companies that I work with or the people that I interact with, what is your goal? What is it that you want to achieve? And then start there, begin with the end in mind and back into it. How many calls we need to make, how many new accounts we need to acquire, how many new people we need to hire, and all those other important things. But starting out with what does success look like? And where do you want to end up at? And then work it back. So
we've talked about this a couple of times on the show recently, because a lot of people don't look at the end. You know, that they're just focused on what's happening right now. And if you're not looking at the end, where do you want your business to go? Do you want it to be generational? Do you want it to be done when you're done? Are you just serving? But if you're not looking at where it's going to be, how do you start? How do you define what success is for you? I think that's great.
Begin with the end in mind. That was Stephen Covey that wrote that many years ago.
Yes.
But that's where it all begins. And then you start to backtrack and reverse engineer what you need to get done to achieve what that goal is.
And a lot of people don't do that, kind of myself included. I mean, is my business going to be done with me, or is it? Am I
I'm always
passing it on?
afraid to do that, because then I'll start at like, okay, I want to do this goal, and then all of a sudden you start to work towards it, and you're like, oh crap, I got to do this before I can do that.
Yeah.
Oh no, I got to do this before I can even do this, and then I got to do this before I can even do that, and the next thing you know, you're like totally overwhelmed, and you're like, I'm never going to finish this goal. I'm never going to get it done, because what I thought would be so easy is now taking me. It's going to take 10 steps to get there.
Yeah.
And that is where I think people can need some assistance and some help in that process, because you can get so overwhelmed so quickly.
You can get caught up in the weeds, and that's usually what happens. You know, it's nice to take those little Post-it notes and put that goal right there on the bathroom mirror when you wake up every morning and say, that's the mission and that's what we got to get to. And then just break it down to baby steps. You know, just take small bites of that elephant, and sooner or later you will achieve it.
And ask for help.
Ask for help. Tracy and I have started so many different things together, and sometimes I felt like both of us are on hamster wheels, coming at each other, helping. Like, we've got all these ideas, but we're not looking behind or really forward. We're looking at each other like, what can we do together? Oh my gosh, we have all these ideas, but you don't think of the end in mind. Oh my gosh. No, my mind's
We're better together.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
And together, everyone achieves more. That's what team stands for. And that's what you need to be in today's world.
I like that definition of team. Boom. John went over there throwing a mic on the ground. He said that was a great mic drop for you.
Yeah.
I love it. So to send performance in 2020, what would you have done differently knowing what you now know today?
Well, that's an interesting question. I started my company as a result of being asked by other companies to help them in their organization. So I had a 38-year in the food industry, a great career, and very successful, and enjoyed every minute of it. I left when Smithfield and the Patrick Cudahy group basically moved to the East Coast. And with those 3 grandchildren that Mitch talked about in Whitefish Bay, I stayed here while the company moved to the East Coast.
I didn't know they moved to the East Coast. It's still smelling my backyard up like bacon, by the way.
Well, that's a good thing. The plan is still running. But the management team and most of all of the sales personnel and everything has gone.
Really?
East, yeah, which was the right thing to do.
Sure.
It was the right thing to do. But I started the company in that, and I thought that I had to have a website. I thought I had to have all these things that Tracy does, these wonderful tools, and come to find out, it's just a people business. And when somebody calls and says, can you help us get through this challenge? You don't need a website and all the other tools. What you need is your experience and your skill set and your drive to help them achieve what they want to get done. So I probably wouldn't have done and invested in all the things that I invested in right off the bat with the things that my company has. But I'm glad I'm where I'm at today, and things have really progressed nicely, and we're keeping really busy right now.
That's excellent to hear.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then he just recruits people who know how to do all the things.
I do. And I refer good people to other clients who
Yes.
know how to do things well.
Yes.
So that's part of what I do. And,
Amazing.
And I enjoy every minute of it.
And that's
And-
the power of networking.
Mhm.
It really
and
is.
you can do your work from anywhere. Like you said, you go up north a lot, and you've been in Florida, and
Yeah, this winter we spent the first time my wife Sandy retired after a long career in school teaching, and she wanted to go to Florida. So whatever Sandy wants, I usually try to get it for her. So
Nice work.
Yeah, I'm a smart husband.
Oh, goodness, you
We
are.
spent some good time in Florida. Actually, we spent 4 months during the winter, and it was really a nice experience. Very nice.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to snowbird one day. It's going to
Yeah.
happen. Yeah. That's
Mhm.
part of
But I
that
can
end
work
goal.
from there, too. And you
Yes.
could too. I mean, we all
Yes.
can, as long as you have not a nice setup like this, but something somewhere close to this, and you can pretty much do anything you need to.
Mhm.
John definitely has
With
a beautiful studio. We're very lucky to be in
Yes,
here, for sure.
Mhm, mhm.
this is awesome.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. Do you have any specials or offers or anything coming up that you want to tell us about?
Well, special offers that I have, if there's a small to medium-sized enterprise or a sales professional or a management person that needs a little help or guidance or insight, have them reach out. I think all of my credentials are right on the website, on the Connect Show and so forth, and I'd love to help them. It's not a matter of, it's just a matter of just helping them get unstuck and move forward. And I'll be in a lot of the networking events here for the summer. I'll be working the Northwoods a little bit too, which will be a nice change of pace, but certainly a pleasure to be on the show, and thank you for the invite. And John and the team, it's very nice to be here. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Wonderful to meet you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you at the Breakfast Club.
Yes.
networking event.
Every Tuesday, every other Tuesday.
Every other Tuesday.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
And we do have a page for you on the website, like you said, it's /Bud Matthews, and you can reach out to him there.
Thank you, Tracy.
Amazing. Thank you
much.
so
Yeah.
much. You know, it's really fun how when we have these conversations, so much always rolls back into networking and the people that you know and referring. And I love the topic today of helping people. I really, really love bringing back that question of the day, and our guests definitely mirrored that. Like, they are here to help others, which is great.
And asking for help.
And asking for help. You know,
help.
I said it live. I'm never going to hear the end of it. Someone's going to beat it into my head. Kim, if you don't ask for help, you're in trouble.
All right, I'm going to witness that.
We'll see.
So thanks so much for helping out today, all of our volunteers. We've got people behind the scenes doing some of our tech stuff, website stuff, our makeup. So nice.
I know. I'm feeling
Yep,
pretty sparkly today.
I
Thank
know.
you, Sandra.
And next week, we're going to have on the show Bill Vinson and Dottie Pasto with guest. You guys are going to miss me again. Guest host Ben Palmer from Think Local, but he's going to be super, super fun to have on the
Ben
show.
has great energy.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, he does. He has great energy. So I'll be sitting here with Ben next week.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us on the show today. Please help our community grow by trying to find John. He's going all over. Hey, help our community grow by reaching out, inviting one person who you feel will benefit from being part of the journey. Like, subscribe, share. If you're on social, it's okay if you're watching the replay. We still see your comments.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, the little act goes a long way, and we are here to help others. So hopefully this show can help someone else. We will see you next week. Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye.
Ooh, we got a clapping audience.
We got a team together. Everyone achieved. I love it.